What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Scary Hour. And today, it is a Tuesday morning, September 28th to be exact, a day before you guys hear this. And I'm so excited to talk to you guys today because there's so much to cover. I was struggling the past couple weeks to even have things to bring to your tables, you know. So I was scavenging. I had to scavenge for a lot of news, but this week it all fell on my lap because there was so much. It's so much that I don't even know if we could cover it today. But then again, it's like we haven't had an entire 1 hour podcast in a few since like the beginning, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's lit because I get to talk to you guys for a good minute. I got my coffee on the side right here. Yeah, for you coffee drinkers out there, listen. I had a dilemma. I've been having a dilemma for the past few, maybe a year from now. Like for the past year. I've been having this dilemma with coffee where I love coffee so much that it's like I don't know if I should just give up coffee for a little bit and then come back to it. What are the benefits of leaving coffee? What are the benefits of staying and just continuing to drink coffee? But it's don't get me wrong, I try to substitute it for with tea, but I don't know, but tea don't be giving that power. Tea just makes me want to go to sleep. Yeah, and coffee obviously doesn't. So I'm going to continue having my battle. Today is a day where coffee won the battle. So you guys let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you're a coffee drinker or not. And if you've always been the type of person to think about leaving coffee and just like not drinking coffee anymore. Or do you do that on occasions? I'm starting to think about like maybe every few months, maybe stay off of coffee for like 2 weeks, maybe, if maybe that would help. But today, caffeine won the battle. But yeah, earlier last week, Texas Border Patrol's agents rounding up Haitians that crossed the southern border on horseback, bruh. On fucking horseback. What the fuck is we like? I posted this on my Instagram, Adrian's World, for you guys who don't follow me. I posted this on my Instagram story, and I'm like, yo, history really does repeat itself, because what the fuck? Like, I would only see this on textbooks back in freshman year of high school. Learning about slavery and shit like that, and I would only see slave owners riding on horseback, watching over the plantation and watching over slaves working on the plantation and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it was a bad representation of border patrols. If you're a border patrol out there, you had it rough last week. Feel me? And if I'm not mistaken, I've heard that this has been a practice. Well, obviously, it is probably easier to roam around that terrain on horseback. You feel me? Compared to that of a big truck or some shit. For each individual ranger to have a truck and whatnot, it's probably over excessive. Probably costs too much money. I don't know. A horse is probably cheaper. But I'm not going to hold you on the picture. They look like they were having the most fun of their life. Tying up Haitians and shit like that. But I think the reason we're listening to this, or we're hearing about this now in the way that we're seeing it, is because, number one, Mexicans do always cross the borders. Mexicans always, or people from southern countries, South American countries, they cross the border every day. But there is such thing as a coyote. A coyote is basically somebody who, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't Google the name of what a coyote means, but it is essentially what a person does, where they would route you towards the right direction or guide you towards the right direction in the desert, and basically show you the way through the gate or through the wall, and I guess follow a specific route that'll lead you to, I don't know, somewhere in Texas. But I could be completely wrong. But I do know that a lot of immigrants use or would prefer to come by with a coyote. So that's why a lot of people have to like save up a certain amount of money to be able to afford a coyote and cross by. You know what's crazy? I'm about to like save up money just to like go to like Mexico and like pay a coyote. I want to experience that. Because I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna make it to where it's just me though. I don't want nobody else's actual immigrant around me, because then feel me, like I don't want people to think that I'm like an undercover agent and like I have to over here explain myself that I just wanted the experience when we fuck around and get caught. I would much rather be the type of person to be there on my dolly with the coyote dude or whatnot, and just be like, yo, bro, take me where we gotta go. Feel me? Like just show me the route. Obviously, I'm just making light of such a difficult situation where people would have to like would give up a lot to just do such thing. Because once you get caught, I'm pretty sure you go to like a camp, so they camp you somewhere or some shit like that. I'm pretty sure they don't just turn you back around and you come from where you go back to where you came from. I'm pretty sure they put you somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a little crazy. The pictures look scary. The pictures look like, they just look bad. I don't really have much to talk about that, but that, it looks ugly, y'all. That's all I have to say about that. And then the Biden administration is trying to send Haitians to Guantanamo Bay detention center. So that came out a couple days after the viral pictures of these Texas Border Patrol agents on horseback. But I don't know, y'all. You guys let me know what you think about this whole situation. I feel like they were chilling on that horseback. They were having the most. In the picture, you could just tell like their faces, like they were just like, how we gonna wrap them up? How did these cowboys used to do it back in the days? I don't know, bro. I don't know. But that whole Biden administration trying to send them to Guantanamo Bay is crazy. Not going to lie. That is crazy. Because, number one, I'm Dominican. Haitians are like our brothers. Well, I like to see them as our brothers, because there's a lot of freaking Dominicans that are racist as fuck for no reason, bro. Because you got motherfuckers like me, dog as shit. So it's like, if you racist to a Haitian, you racist to me. You feel me? Because we do have our light-skinned Dominicans. We do have blue eyes, green eyes Dominicans who are blonde haired, really, really white, and they could pass off as a full blown white person, like. And then once you hear that they're Dominican, you're like, what? What in what world, bro? Like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's a little crazy. Yeah, I like to see them as my brothers. You feel me? Because if I was stationed or living in Dominican Republic, I don't understand what the vision is, honestly, between both countries. we're sharing the same land, bro. And it's crazy that it even baffles me when like a hurricane hits or something, or like an earthquake hits. It always looks like it's always hitting towards Haiti. And like we're not even like touched on it. Now, obviously, I'm not over here saying like, yo, those are my brothers, so whatever they go through, we should go through. But it's just crazy to me, like, to think that even like we're sharing the same land. That's not the only thing dividing us is a border. It's not even like the land is like broken in the middle, and one side is to the one side and the other side is to the other. It's like it's just a border. Just like we're sharing the same land as Canada and in Mexico. There's just a wall in the middle dividing us, but we're sharing the same land. Yeah, so that's crazy to me. So and probably in that regard, it's like some of these racist ass Dominicans probably be thinking to themselves on some horrible shit, just thinking to themselves like, oh, well, that's because that's why we don't get along with them, because they always have bad luck or whatnot. I don't know. I just created that shit in my head. But there's ignorant people like that. And knowing my race, my group, my specific group of people, there's a lot of motherfuckers that are like that. But it's a bad picture. I'm pretty sure they fix shit up though. You feel me? I heard a story about them. Some of these border patrols, getting held accountable for. So whatever that means, you could just hear a report about that and then nothing actually happens. Feel me? So maybe they'll get fucking, I don't know, taken off duty for a little bit. But then again, like, probably with pay, it's always like shit like that. But it's I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys. I'm really interested and curious as to what you guys have to say about that. So please let me know. Please share your thoughts on that. And yeah, it's like, and then it's like these kids, right? I during the Trump administration, I think it started with the Obama administration, but with the whole kids missing because they got taken away from their parents. It was a big story throughout the Trump administration, because obviously a lot of people, aside from Trump actually showing signs of fucking racism, aside from that, but people also capitalizing on the name Trump and just making a story out of everything and making things as if it was Trump's fault, when a lot of things got started during the Obama administration. That's nothing against Obama, y'all. Don't chew on me for that shit. Don't, just for me saying that. I'm not a huge political person, so I could be completely wrong about anything that I'm saying. But based off what I've heard, based off what I've read, there's a lot of shit that has gotten started during the Trump and Obama administration that gets dragged on to the next administration. That's why I'm mentioning the Obama administration. So don't come at me for nothing. Don't try to say I'm a fucking anti-leftist or anything like that. That's not the fucking case. I'm just saying that there's shit that get dragged on to other administrations. So a lot of these, they're still missing children that got ripped away from their parents during the time where all of these immigrants were getting caught up and sent to that concentration camp shit that they had set up, where they were giving like them weird ass blankets to them. What's the blankets that look like they look like they were going to space with them blankets. I don't know if y'all remember what I'm talking about. I'm trying to put up a picture of it. If I find it. If I don't, I'm sorry. But it's like, why? This is where I was leading with this. Why we didn't have the same energy about those kids and other humans that went missing around that time as we did with with the Gabby Patito case. That shit, I didn't even follow it like that, to be honest, because I was just like, once I looked at it, I was like, so this is just the whole missing persons thing and how motherfuckers came across the potential killer a couple times and nothing happened. What's the big deal? And I started to look at it. I'm like, it's because she white. It's because she white. Cause I'm thinking to myself like, yo, bro, she's white. She's dealing with mental health issues. Her boyfriend's white. From Florida. So you already know the story is crazy. But it's like, how many other stories that we haven't looked at or we haven't taken the time to really put an eye to or bat an eye to are out there? You feel me? Like, we're too busy looking at these cases and being like, or a case like this, and just looking at it like, oh my God, that shit is so crazy. Now, granted, it is crazy. Don't get me wrong. I followed the case real quick. I didn't want to follow the case. So I just waited until like the case got not solved, because it's still not solved, but like we kind of have like a good aspect of what a timeline. So I waited for that, and I searched it up on YouTube the whole time it happened. So that's how I did it. I didn't sit back on day one of the Gabby Patito case. Oh my God, Gabby Patito was missing. Anybody has seen her? She was last seen with her boyfriend. I read that. That's it. I stepped away from that. I didn't give a fuck about it. My condolences goes to her family and her friends and loved ones. But I forgot who I heard this from. Oh, I actually heard this from Flagrant 2. Shout out to Flagrant 2, Andrew Schultz, Akash Singh, Alex Media, Mark Gagnon. And I think it was Alex that said that he didn't do it. I'm over here talking shit about how we over here paying too much attention to the Gabby Patito case because she white and all that shit, but I ain't gonna lie. Once I started learning about it, I was like, oh shit, okay, I see. I just want to put that point out there, and that, you know, we have to have the same energy towards everybody else. You feel me? Or maybe it wasn't just because she was white. It was because the fucking case was interesting as shit, and there could have been multiple possibilities where her death could have been, you know, avoided. But Alex Media brought up a good point where he believes that her boyfriend, Laundry, whatever, I'm gonna call him Laundry, I forgot his first name, didn't do it. He believes that they just got into an argument, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna up and leave, and left her somewhere, took the van and dipped. And then in the time that they were separated, somebody else saw her very vulnerable and killed her. So I don't know. You feel me? Now, somebody in the podcast rebutted to that and said that maybe. So that no, he said that why would her boyfriend be scared to talk to the cops afterwards and report her missing or whatnot? After she got reported missing, obviously, and they wanted questioning from him. And Alex Media's return was, well, because, you know, I think that's what he said, but it was basically like, you know, I would be scared to fucking talk to a cop where everybody fucking thinks I did it, and I'm over here giving you a story of how it really happened, and there's a very slight chance of you believing my story when it was actually fucking real. You feel me? And that's probably the case, bro. Like, what the fuck? How do I would do the same shit. I would be like, yo, if me and my girl ever got into an argument and I was a dickhead enough. Now, granted, he's a fucking cock for even leaving her behind in the middle of nowhere. Now, it was probably in the middle of nowhere, and not in the middle of nowhere, but it was somewhere where they don't live. Now, they were fucking crossing the country in a van. So it's like, for you to just leave your significant other in the middle of nowhere and then just dip off in the van y'all both left on, yeah, that's kind of a dickhead move. Now, when I come back home and I come to find out that you're not with me, or you're not back home with me, I start to get worried, and then your family starts to look for you and shit like that. And it's like everybody like, yo, you killed her? Yo, where she at? And she don't pop up, and then she found dead. I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be gone. I'm gone. Nah, I'm not going. I'm gonna say my piece. I'm gonna be like, yo, I didn't do it. Word to I didn't do it. But I know y'all don't try to catch me trying to blame it on me. I didn't do it. Now, I don't know, bro. I don't think he did it either. Once I before I heard to Alex Media's take on it, I was like, all right, he did it. But when I heard his take on it, I was like, yo, that makes so much fucking sense. So I retract my statement and I agree with Alex Media. I don't think he did it. I think he left her behind on some dickhead shit. He from Florida. He would do some shit like that. He really would do some shit like that. He's from Florida. He gonna be up and dipping. You're saying like, yo, deuces, I'm gonna see you later. I'm gonna catch you some other time. I don't want nothing to do with this. I want to continue traveling the country, or I'm gonna go back home because you're just probably nagging and bitching throughout the entire shit. So I'm done with this road trip. You can continue on, but I best believe I'm taking the van back because I probably rented that shit. Or it's probably my van, whatnot. You find your way, and this shit gonna become the organ control or whatnot. So you start, get to walking. I don't know, bro. All I know is he from Florida. He crazy. So I agree with Alex Media. Shout out to Flagrant 2. And on the topic of women getting slaughtered, Chris Cuomo got accused of sexually harassing former boss at a 2005 party. I don't know what that has to do with getting slaughtered, with women getting slaughtered. It was the topic of women, so I just went along with what I have written. But then this shit crazy, the whole family getting taken down, bro. The whole family getting taken down. Like, what the fuck is going on? I did not expect that. 2005? Like, bro, you went 15 years without saying anything. What could the man have possibly done, bro? That you was like, I can't speak about this story. I can't talk about it. Oh my God. Now, you know, it could have happened. But y'all see what's going on, right? I'm not the only one, bro. I'm not bugging. I wonder who this boss is. I probably should have done more research on this boss. On who this boss is and where she's at in life right now. Because I guarantee you, Chris Cuomo's name is probably more out there than hers. So it's like, I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure if, I don't even want to say that. That's wild. What I was going to say was wild. But it's like, I'm pretty sure if she was just as known as Chris Cuomo was, or is, this wouldn't even be a topic. Probably be a conversation between them two. Yeah, hey, yo, I didn't really like the way you like grabbed my waist that time in 2005, remember? I still remember that shit. So I know to you it may be not a big deal, but kind of to me it is. Because I still remember it. So it's like, I felt really uncomfortable. You know? But instead, motherfuckers getting accused of sexually harassing. I hope you guys see how prominent Me Too is still going, and still. And yeah, I mean, you know, obviously there are cases. There are cases where the Me Too movement wins. You know, there's a lot of dickheads out there, a lot of fucking creeps, a lot of weirdos. But then this is where the believe all women aspect or thought goes to shit, because it's like, believe all women, shit like this can happen. I don't know what the fuck happened in that 2005 party. But it just sounds like complete bullshit. It sounds like complete BS. Like shit that's probably not prominent, but you're just gonna make a big deal out of it because you want the press. That's just my take on that. That's just what I have to say about that, because I just like, it's getting out of hand, bro. You really got to be careful on who you're around and how you act around those people. Like, even if it's a close person, that's scary, because you don't know where you and that person are going to be at 15, 10, 5, even 5 years from now, even the year after from then. You don't know whether you're in that how you're in that person going to be. I have friends who I was really close to a year ago. Like, exactly on this date, a year from now, I was really close to people that I'm not close to anymore because I've decided to part ways with them. So it's like, same aspect, same shit applies to everybody else. You really have to be careful on who you are. You can't get too comfortable around people. And I'm that type of person to get real comfortable around people. So I have to constantly remind myself not to be too comfortable around people, because I could joke a certain way that I don't mean seriously. I could be a certain way where, like, I'm really just a playful person, but you may see it as me being a creep. Whereas, like, if I'm just a playful type of person, a physically playful type of person, and you could just be a very sensitive ass person, you're gonna see, if I'm matched with a sensitive ass person like that, I'm gonna be viewed as a creep. I'm gonna be viewed as a weirdo. Mind you, I just grew up like that. I grew up around people who are very loving in many ways, in emotional ways, and physical ways, and not in an enclosed way either. And obviously, I'm probably not using the right word, but what I mean by enclosed, I mean in not in a private way. We're like that with people we feel comfortable around. So if I feel comfortable around you, comfortable enough to be fully myself around you, but you don't rock with that, 10, 15 years from now, there's going to be a report of that said person claiming that I sexually harassed them. Meanwhile, I was just being how I was raised. That was just a point that I wanted to put out there, because I hope you guys do actually see what's going on here. This is not cool, y'all. This is not cool. I mean, at least in this case, it's not cool. In this case particularly, it's very frightening. Now it could be true. I could be completely wrong. But until the case is settled, I will continue to have this stand. And if it does point to the different direction, then I'll take my words back. I'll bring it back up to you guys. Be like, yo, it was true. My fault. I apologize. It just sounds like bullshit. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Now, moving on. Tory Lanez was reportedly sued over alleged hit and run that left victim disfigured. It wasn't even like the victim got hit and, I don't know, motherfucking arm flew off. His nutsack flew off the fucking rear end of the car or some shit. I don't know what the fuck happened. I read this. I was like, God damn, bro. What the hell? The rapper was blamed for allowing unknown driver to use his vehicle. So it wasn't even him that did it. It was just like he let somebody use this vehicle. And the motherfucker ended up leaving somebody disfigured. That shit is crazy, bro. Thank God I got my license. Because even if I make it, I'm going to be driving my whips, bro. I'm not getting I'm not letting these youngins use my shit, or whoever gets close to me. Unless you're a trusted person. I'm not just going to let you fucking... If I know you be whipping that bitch, I'm not letting you use my whip. You whip your own bitch. Fuck that, yo. Hell nah. Hell nah. For shit like this to happen, you bugging out. Yeah, you wildin'. I'm not doing that. I'm not risking it. Now he getting sued. The motherfucker isn't even, he not even known. It says unknown driver. And that's probably because Tory Lanez is like, yo, I'm not gonna snitch on you, but you can't be tight. You're never gonna use my whips again. I'm not gonna snitch. I'm gonna deal with this shit right now, but best believe I want you on my circle. That's probably why it's unknown. The motherfucker probably hit the nigga 50 feet off the air, put the nigga 50 feet in the air, and dipped on him. Cause I wouldn't stay either. Fuck all that. Shit. Now if it wasn't my fault, I'd stay. I'd be like, yo, that's crazy because he crossed on a red light. I mean on a green light. What's going on? But that shit is crazy to me. Yet another fucking, first it was shooting Meg on the leg, and now is this. You imagine he paid somebody to put out a report like this? Mind you, it never happened. That'd be smart as shit. I don't know what's going on with the case yet. This was a couple days ago that I saw it come across my feed. So I just mentioned it to you guys real quick. Maybe it develops later on. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it just disappears. It poofs. I don't know. Feel me? But that's that. Now, moving on from that, there's a new no-fly list that Delta has implemented. And they're urging other airlines to implement the same list or their version of it. But it's not specifically for like everybody. Well, it's not for everybody. It's specifically for people who have had problems in planes. Like, count amounts of fights have you seen getting posted on social media of people fighting in the plane, people yelling in the plane, disrupting peace in the plane or whatnot, and having to get, I don't know, fucking arrested in the plane or whatnot for those individuals, which is amazing. As long as y'all don't put up the flight, the costs, we chilling. The prices of the flights, they stay the same, we chilling. I don't know how they would increase but whatnot, but I'm just saying, hell no. That'll be fire. Because now there's an incentive to actually behave. Because you see motherfuckers that be 50 years old acting like they 18, 17, 16. Big old babies. Shit is crazy. But you know, I kind of like it. It's pretty, I don't know, it's putting in order. It's dealing with the problem that has actually been a problem within the past, like, you know, year and a half, 2 years. So ever since people have been able to fly during the pandemic, it's just been a problem. You've seen a lot more fights, a lot more, I don't want to wear my mask, a lot of more like, well, motherfucker, I don't know, bro. People just crybabies, and I'm one of those people too sometimes on certain things. But there's just certain shit you gotta deal with. Like, I just decided to deal with wearing a fucking mask because I know, you feel me, I can infect somebody else if I'm not wearing it. And some of you may argue, well, that's why you get the COVID test, and if you come out negative, you get to fly somewhere. But it's like, you can contract COVID while you're getting on the plane. There's always going to be that one person that gets a fake COVID test, or somebody who has it and gets it from the fucking Uber driver that drove him to the airport, or from a family member that they saw right after they took the test that said that they were negative. You know, it's shit like that. So, you know, you just gotta respect those in that aspect. You can potentially kill somebody with this shit. So, you know, just deal with it. It's annoying. It's fucking annoying. I have a little trick to it though. I'm not gonna expose it to y'all because I don't want them to regulate that. I don't want the airlines to be regulating that though. But yeah, you know, I seen this. I'm pretty sure Delta's name been popping out lately, a lot lately. So that's they just popped out even more now. But that's on that. There's so much news on the NBA that has transpired this week that I need to share with you guys, but it's more on that later. I wanted to talk to you guys about enjoying yourself and what it is that you want to do in life. Now, the reason I even randomly brung this up right now is just because I was watching this video, and I was watching this video on Gary V. I don't know if you're a lot. He's like really in our generation. He's been very prominent because he's been very set forth on working, busting your ass and just focusing on shit that you want to do in life and whatnot. And I came across this video of his where he says, I used to bust my ass working 80-hour weeks, and I never took a break. I never went on vacation. I never traveled. I never wasted my money for like basically, for his own good or whatnot. Like he never used the vacations and shit like that. And at the beginning, I used to be the type of person to listen to that. And you could just be like that person too, who listens to somebody tell you that, and someone who's very, very experienced to give you that advice, and you could feel very motivated, and it could actually work in your favor. But I'm very big on mental health. I'm very big on keeping yourself sane as possible, and just doing what you want to do with whatever it is that you decide to do, or with whatever it is that you have going on in your life. Because growing up is not easy. So when I hear shit like that, before I used to be all for it, but once I started working and started to realize a lot of what the work life is and what growing up is and adulting, I started to really stay true to myself more so than somebody's company. And what I mean by that is, if you want to go all out on your trip when it comes time for your vacation time or whatnot, you do that. If you feel like the job you're working is not for you, you leave it. Now, granted, don't just fucking up and leave. Plan it out first. Focus on things that you want to individually do for yourself, that you really feel good doing, and do those things. And then look for a different job that you could potentially like, or something that's very different from the job that you didn't like, and then leave. Be real smart about your decisions. But eventually do what it is that you decide, or whatever it is that your mind puts you to do. Because a lot of people drive themselves crazy on, I'm gonna bust my ass. I've been busting my ass, and therefore because you've been chilling, and obviously I'm creating this person that could potentially I've encountered, but I've never I can't sit here and say that there's been a lot of people that have done this, but I've encountered certain individuals that are this way, and that way is being the type of person to belittle other people. And I speak a lot about belittlement on this podcast, or for the past couple of episodes, but I've came across a lot of people who belittle others just because they work really hard, and as opposed to other people who work just as hard but more smartly, or don't just work as hard but get shit their way regardless. And there's no problem with, there's no problem with working hard. If you decide that that's what you want to do, you do that. You work hard. You go ahead, and if you feel good working 60 hours, 80-hour weeks, you go ahead and enjoy, because you enjoy your job, you do that shit. If you enjoy what you're doing for a living, you do what you have to do. And I respect it, whether you do it or not. Now, if you're somebody who's struggling to find motivation, somebody who struggles to find what it is that they want to do in life, it has to settle for a company or a job that eventually doesn't give a fuck about you and just deals with you whenever you complain. But other than that, if you're not complaining, they're going to use you like a fucking robot. I feel your pain because I've been there before. And a lot of people like to tell you, oh, that's just adulting. That's just part of that's just part of what adulting is. And yes, it is for the past generation. This generation, my generation doesn't want, it's not that we don't want to work. We do want to work. We want to earn money. But it's that every other generation before us didn't give a fuck about your mental health. Doesn't give a fuck about you completely going insane just because you're working and busting your fucking ass. But instead, we're the one and very first generation to look at that and be like, nah, bruh. You're bugging out. Like, I'm not going to sit here and do what you want me to do. And then, like, you talk to me like I'm a fucking animal. And I have to sit here and deal with it. You're bugging out. I'm here and you need me. So why don't you act like you need me? Instead of trying to shit on me. That's what a lot of managers do. That's what a lot of like higher ups and that's ahead of you in whatever job position you're in do. So that's what I'm acting as right now. So yeah, it's like I've encountered situations where like I see the shitting going and like happening. Whether if it's to me or to other people around me, I see the shitting on. You feel me? Or like how motherfuckers be walking around like their balls is bigger than other people's working there. And it's like, bro, if I wasn't here, you'd be struggling right now. If a lot of us weren't here, you'd be struggling right now. You would eventually not be here. Unless it's like your company. You're gonna bust your ass regardless. But yeah, it's enjoy what it is that you do, what it is that you desire. What I'm a big person. I'm big on manifesting, but I feel like you have to do the work for it. I'm not the type of person to be like these influencers telling you you have to just say it before bed, after bed, and when you're happy, and then it'll eventually come through. No, you have to put in the work. What I mean by that is actually follow steps to, if you say and you're trying to manifest a better mindset, you have to take those actions to be able to, implement that within the way your mind works and to everyday life and everyday thinking. Not just say, oh, you know what? I want to be I want to be a better person. So then, you act a better person. I always tell myself I always want to be a better person. Now, there are situations where some of my thoughts don't come through like I am a better person. Some of these thoughts, what I mean by that is some of the thoughts that come to my head are very cynical, are very they're very negative. And that's completely normal. To have thoughts like that, to act on them is different. So I let it flow through my mind because it's fucking normal. But then again, as long as I don't act on those things or don't continue to let those thoughts grow more than just a thought, I'm good. But yeah, I felt like talking to you guys about that just because it was something that I was binge watching on. It was something that I'm big on because there's been, for the past 2-3 years, I've been living my best life. And by that I mean I've been experiencing other cultures. I've been traveling to other countries. Now I've put a pause on that because I'm dealing with a lot currently. But a lot of people during that time, during the peak of me traveling and doing what I love to do, what I want, what I never knew I wanted to do, but I eventually learned how to do it. I've had a lot of people tell me, "Oh, you got money. Oh, oh shit, you balling or something." And it's not that. It's just that I'm doing it very smartly. There's weeks where I'm busting my ass at work. There's weeks where I'm doing what I have to do to make ends meet. But I'm doing it the smart way. I'm doing what I love to do and what I don't love to do at the same time, and giving all of that the same energy. 50% of this, 50% of that. You feel me? But obviously, I'm not going to show you my grind time. Because that's what social media is all about. And also because I don't got no fucking time to be just like, look, I'm at work. Here, busting my ass at work. I don't got no time for that. I don't got no energy for that when I'm working. Because all of my energy is going towards what I'm doing as a job. Now, when I'm on vacation or when I'm doing what I love to do, that's different. Because now I have all of the energy to spare to show you guys the luxuriousness I'm experiencing at the moment. I'm not the type of person to sit here and be like and shit on other people. How's the weather? I hate those motherfuckers that be like, how's the weather in New York? Hey guys, look, I'm here. Well, how's the weather in New York? Because motherfucker, I'm going back to New York regardless. We're going. It's not like I'm in my retirement home and I'm here for the rest of my life. And I'm just asking you guys how's the weather in New York, knowing that the weather in New York is shitty. Come on, man. I hate those bloaters. Those are bloaters. Motherfuckers like that are bloaters. I know a couple people on my Instagram that do that shit. And I hate y'all motherfuckers because I be busting my ass at work. And looking at y'all posts talking about how's the weather in New York, knowing it's snowing or raining or just gloomy as fuck. Even if the sun is out and it's a beautiful day outside, ain't no beach good enough near me. I'm a beach person, y'all. But yeah, it's it's funny as shit, yo. I hate those bloaters. I hate you bloaters. But I understand it. You feel me? I don't do that shit though. I can't do that shit because I feel like I'm shitting on somebody, or like somebody's taking it out of proportion. And I know there's always gonna be that one person that just sees it the wrong way. Now, granted, there's always gonna be somebody that sees something the wrong way all the time, like every time. So in reality, when it comes to that regard, I shouldn't give a fuck. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still learning. I'm still dealing with shit in certain ways that eventually I probably wouldn't deal with the same in a year from now. So, but yeah, man, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. I'm currently doing what I want to do. I am currently not to the fullest extent, not how I want it, but I am thankful enough. I'm lucky enough to be doing this, what I'm doing right here. So this is exactly what I want to do. I'm enjoying every week. Even if I come into the office late or to the studio late, and for example, like I'm recording on a Tuesday. I usually record on a Monday to have the episode out by Wednesday for you guys. But today is a late week where I had to come in and record and edit on the same day. So, but it happens. And the fact that I enjoy that regardless is good because it's something that I'm creating, you know? And it's something that I want to do. Be big on that. You feel me? And don't try to sell yourself on a certain mindset. Just do what you want to do. What I mean by that is like, don't tell yourself that you are a certain way when you're not. If you could do a 60-hour week, you do the 60-hour week, 70-hour week, 80-hour week. You do that. You go ahead and bust your ass and work, especially if you have to do that. But if you have the possibility of not doing that, you're just doing that just to show others around you that you're a hardworking person. You're not doing it for yourself. You're gonna learn sooner or later that what people think doesn't matter. Now I'm going off on a fucking tangent, pothole after pothole, loophole after loophole, and I'm just going through shit that I'm just going to different directions. So I'm about to steer away from this. I just wanted to implement this onto this episode because it's something that I've been looking at lately this week. So yeah, this is enough on that. And moving on from that, I came across this post that spoke about a murder defendant that was fatally shot by a gunman dressed as a lawyer in the courtroom. And I'm not going to go too deep into this because I don't know much about it, but that shit is crazy. The fact that motherfuckers have really plotted to be like, yo, what's the best way I could get rid of this nigga before he starts talking? I don't know, bro. What you thinking? I'm thinking just catch him right after the courtroom when he outside and shit. Yeah, but the thing is, he already spoke. If we do that, all right. So maybe catch him like before, like right before, as he's walking in to the courtroom. Like, yeah, but then like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't think so, because that's when, you feel me? That's when the guard's gonna be to the highest alert, you know. Because motherfuckers gonna be like, yeah, this nigga could escape at any moment right here because we outside and shit. All right, bro, so what you thinking? I don't know, bro. I'm thinking dressing up like a lawyer, walking in that bitch with a strap on me on the low and shooing the motherfucker. Yeah, nigga, but you gonna get caught. How you gonna get out the courtroom? Fuck it. Motherfuckers want to be rats, right? Fuck it. And I don't even think the dude died. So that's a mission failed. Like, I don't even think. Wait, hold on. I just looked off to the side like I was still talking to my imaginary self. But I don't even think the dude died. Like, that's a failed mission right there. You don't have to restart that. Because if you just shot the dude, you injured him. So, but now you put yourself in jail. Or possibly death, because you shot a motherfucker in a courtroom filled with cops. So who's to say you're not gonna shoot the cops too? And then the motherfucker's still gonna talk. Especially after you try to kill him. I would fuck out of here, nigga. If I would have probably thought about it beforehand, like, damn, bro, I'm about to snitch. Nah, bro, because if I don't snitch, I might just do the 5 years or whatever amount of years they gonna tell me to do, and then just like come back out like Bobby Schmurder. You feel me? Like, we gonna be chilling. But if I snitch, I'm gonna get lesser time, but then I'm gonna have to watch my back every time when I'm outside. So it's kind of like, bro, doesn't really work. Here comes this motherfucker, shoots me, doesn't succeed to kill me, and then like, I mean, he was fatally shot though, so he could have possibly ended it, like lost his life. I don't know. The motherfucker said he ain't died. So, then the motherfucker come in here and shoot me because he think I'm gonna talk, or because he has there's a high possibility in his mind that I'm gonna talk and snitch, and shoots me, and I'm in a deathbed, fighting for my life. Now I'm gonna talk, cause now you bugging out. Now you walked in. What am I supposed to do? Not talk and then like do my years? with this injury, and then like come out and then be like, yo, man, I told you I wasn't gonna talk, but I don't know why you shot me, bro. Like, this is the third. Nah, you bugging. I'm talking. I don't go fuck. But yeah, and I'm saying everything. I'm like, yo, can I please see a photo of the man that shot me, please? Oh yeah, he's Carlito. He's the dude that he sold a lot of drugs in the corner. Yeah, he used to always buy pounds on top of grams on top of shit like that from Jose. And yeah, Jose, they call him Death. Yeah. And he always gets it from him, and then Jose always gets it from this other Carlito, but they call him Carl because they don't want to know he's Dominican or yeah. So, you know, yeah, that's everything you need to know. That's all I know. So it's like that's all I could provide you with. 2 years? Okay, that's great. Awesome. I'm walking out of there. 2 years. 2 years and a gunshot to whatever. I'm chilling. Now I gotta watch my back, but still. That shit is crazy though. That shit is crazy. Now the strategy on like having to dress like a lawyer, walking in the courtroom and shooting the motherfucker is pretty smart. If he got away with it. I don't know if he got away. I don't think he got away with it. You're in a whole courtroom. I don't think you're gonna get away with it. Motherfuckers be stupid as fuck, especially after shooting somebody. You're like trying to figure out if you killed him, or if you should continue shooting, or if you should just focus on getting the fuck up out of there. And you made your mark. Whatever. I'm out. But knowing how stupid people are, that's probably wasn't the chance. That probably wasn't the mindset that motherfucker walked in having. Well, he probably walked in having the mindset of like, yo, shoot this motherfucker and dip. Shoot this motherfucker and dip. Put that in your mindset. This is what you're gonna do. I'ma shoot this motherfucker and dip. That's it. And then you shoot the motherfucker and you're like, oh, I just really shot a motherfucker. And forgets to dip. But that's a pretty fucking smart strategy. That's a pretty smart strategy. Now, moving on from that, I read a report on companies not using drug tests anymore just to fill jobs. And it's crazy that that's what it's come to. Because I remember motherfuckers would have to, not me in particular, but people that I know would have to like use somebody else's urine for a drug test because they smoke too much weed and it's gonna pop up. To the point, and we've gotten to a point where so many people are unemployed that these companies have resulted in not asking for a drug test or not wanting to care about whether you use coke or not. Some motherfuckers are about to be coked up doing work. Fentanyled up. Working and shit. You gonna see, if you see your colleague zoned out like them fucking crackheads be in 125th Street. If y'all know, y'all know. If you see your colleague just there slumped over, like he looked like he about to fall, but he don't fall yet. He on something. He or she is on something. And this is why. Alright? It's because motherfuckers not taking drug tests. There's a couple companies that don't even take resumes. But those be the companies that that stay hiring new people on the daily. If you know, you know. And now we finally come to the part, the sports talk of Scary Hour. And there's so much news. Number one, Redick retired. I didn't even know he had 17 years in the league. When I seen that, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And I still think he could have impacted like any of these like championship contending teams like crazy. But I mean, you know, call it quits for a reason. You feel me? He probably doesn't feel like he has his game anymore or something like that. Or he just probably tired, bro. 17 fucking years in the league. It was a good run. fucking Reddick. I thought the Lakers was gonna go for him. I didn't think he was gonna retire though. If you would have asked me, do you think JJ Redick will retire this season? I would have been like, nah, I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah. Ben Simmons will not report to training camp and intends to never play another game for the Sixers. That's crazy. And I don't know. I think he just, well, obviously he doesn't want to be in the 76ers anymore. But it's like, damn, you don't even want to do training camp. You don't even want to have the possibility of maybe getting traded later on in the middle of the season or some shit like that. Nah, he wants to get traded now. The only thing is that not a lot of teams want him. Or a lot of teams want him, but for very little. And that's because motherfucker can't shoot. It's just what it is. You can't shoot. You feel me? Like, but I don't know. Stephen A. Smith suggested that the Nets should consider. Listen to this take. They should consider, the Nets, Brooklyn Nets should consider trading Kyrie Irving for Ben Simmons if they want to win a championship. I ain't gonna lie, if I was GM, I would never do that. You bugging the fuck out. Now, Ben Simmons, there's arguably wants to win a ring more so than Kyrie does, or wants to work harder than Kyrie does. But maybe, I don't know. I'm putting it out there. I'm talking shit right now. Maybe, but I'm not trading the best ball handler of all time. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Especially with his, hell no. With his handles, number one. His finishing around the rim, number two. You bugging out. I'm not doing that. And I don't think they would do that either. It's just Stephen A. making something pop. Something out of nothing pop. Trying to make something out of nothing. But speaking of Kyrie, David Letterman. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm confusing that. The David Letterman was David Letterman asking KD, why do people call him KD? But it's obviously David Letterman, so it makes sense as to why he would ask that question. For a second, I had to search up who David Letterman was, because for a second I thought he was a real reporter. Up until when I saw his picture, I was like, oh, the David Letterman show. What the fuck? I'm stupid. What the hell? I hadn't heard his name in a while. Yeah. But there you go. The Nets got their viral moment. But that wasn't their only viral moment. Fucking Kyrie Irving got asked by a reporter on his status as to why he's not in training camp or he hasn't been seen with his team or whatnot. And his response to that question, the person asked him, why he hasn't been with his team, why he's been, kind of under the radar, and what's his take on having to get the vaccine in order to play next season. And he was quick to just, quick to tell them to respect his privacy, that he respects the question, but that he doesn't feel like he should answer that question just yet. And he wants to be private on that matter, to be specific. My take on that is just that's just Kyrie being Kyrie. Now, my girl was reading this and listening to this too, and she was telling me that she understands, because somebody who's so influential or that influential doesn't want to maybe put a certain light out there or give a certain light to people, especially sports fans. Like, motherfuckers will make nothing out of something, or something out of nothing. And could potentially fuck with his career more so. Could fuck more with his career and also his on court impact, whether if it's, his chemistry with his teammates and shit like that. Because a lot of people would make shit up. A lot of people would be like, correlate a lot of shit that he didn't even say, and would just be like, oh, and that's why he didn't want to get the vaccine, because he don't want to comply with that shit. And so that just goes to show that he don't want to win a ring. That just goes to show that he's not a winner. He doesn't look to have a successful season with the Nets. People would do shit like that. So and when she told me that, I was like, okay, I get it. But it's a very Kyrie move. It's a very Kyrie Irving move to have to be like, oh, I want to be very private about that. This and the third. And then he went on live right after that to trolling about it, because he knew it was gonna make a wave. He knew people were gonna have a take like mine. My take on it, before I didn't even elaborate on it, but my take on it before I told you guys what my girl's take was on it. My take on it was that, bro, he's just bitching. He's being a bitch. We all know you didn't take the vaccine yet, because you would be with your team. That could be that's a bigger possibility than any other possibility. Another possibility could be just that you took the vaccine, but you're just very sick and it hit you really hard or whatnot. I don't think that shit, bro. I'm not jagging it. I'm jagging that you haven't made your mind up on whether or not you should take the vaccine, seeing if there's a loophole around it or whatnot, as you should. Because whatever your opinion is on the vax, then that's your opinion and that's respected. But just say that. Who's over here going around like talking about private? I like the statement. I'm private about that. They asked him like 3 times. I like to say again. I just want to say real private about that, bro. Just talk, bro. Come on, my nigga. Like, stop being a bitch. Just say how it is, y'all. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable taking vax yet. I've spoken to my teammates about it. They understand. I'll come through eventually. I'm just not ready yet. That's it. That's what the fuck is that? That was my take on it. You know what I mean? Even when my girl told me that, I was like, yeah, I get it. But then it's like, still, you a bitch. Because, like, bro. And Kyrie is one of my favorite players, bro. Like, he be on some shit sometimes, bro. Like how are you not private about the earth being flat, but you private about your opinion on the vaccine or whatnot? Now he said he was trolling about that, but I'm just trying to make a point. You feel me? There's a lot of shit that he should be private about too. You feel me? I don't know. You just pick and choose. It's your life. But yeah, I don't know. It's a very Kyrie thing. It's a Kyrie move. And Stephen A is bugging the fuck out on the Nets, on him thinking that the Nets should suggest on trading Kyrie for Ben Simmons. You bugging out, bro. Now, I guess in the way he sees it is like you already have 2 ball dominant players in James Harden and Kevin Durant. So having somebody like Ben Simmons as your third piece, where he just focuses on bringing the ball down and passing around the ball and setting up screens and being having a defensive mindset, it can work. So maybe he's not bugging, but I wouldn't do it. You bugging out. I wouldn't do it. The Lakers, they filled up their final roster spot. I think it's their 14th. They still have one more open roster spot, but I believe they're going to leave that for the middle of the season when it comes time to trade and to see who you could pick up. But to make up their 14th, because you have to, I didn't know this, but every team has to have 14 players. You can't like start the season with like 12 players or whatnot, or 13 players. So to make up their 14th roster spot, they signed Austin Reeves. I looked into him a little bit. He's pretty good. He ain't going to get no playing time. He's going to get thrown out there when we blow people out. When we blow these motherfucking teams out, that's when people like Austin Reeves and what's that other white kid? He was making a lot of... Damn, I forgot his name. McClung. something McClung. They're barely gonna get any time unless McClung. I feel like has a really big possibility on impacting, because I feel like his game is a lot like Alex Caruso in terms of like he got bounce, feel me, and like he be diving for balls and shit like that. In that regard, obviously we have to see the on court movement. I think he's like 2 or 3 inches shorter than Alex Caruso. But yeah, Austin Reeves, whatever, I don't think there was anybody else. The freaking Warriors picked up this guy. Fuck. What's his name? Guys, I'm really like forgetting names over here. The guard, the defensive mindset guard that was in the fucking Celtics. They picked him up. He went to Miami. He was in the Lakers, then he went to Miami. He got traded to Miami. Then now he went from Miami to the Warriors. Yeah, he's gonna be greatly missed. I wanted the Lakers to pick him up. I don't even think we have Wesley Matthews, which could have been also a great pickup instead of this Austin Reeves kid. Because they're both that player and Wesley Matthews are really good defensively in terms of guarding guards. And that's kind of where we're lacking at. It's that, and then like, who's gonna guard these? Like, who's gonna guard Stephen Curry? I'm tripping. That was a stupid ass take. I'm tripping. I'm bugging out. We got Russ and we got Rondo. Yeah, I'm tripping. But in terms of like the shooting guards, it's THT. It's Malik Monk. THT is a pretty good defensively. I've spoken a lot about THT, so anybody who knows my take on THT, y'all already know what's up with him. That's my guy. And then yeah, I don't know how that's gonna be. It's gonna be a little awkward. I feel like we still gonna make it work. LeBron is doing this. He's trying to implement this 3-day chemistry building with everybody in the team, which is fucking fire. I love how I'm really big on the Rondo pickup because, bro, to have not only just LeBron's IQ on the court, but also Rondo's is crazy. Not only on the court, but outside as just team leaders. The team leaders are going to be LeBron and Rondo. I understand AD also kind of being in the mix too. You feel me? But it's always going to be Rondo and LeBron. People are all, between the other 12 players, they're all going to go towards one or the other for advice and for shit like that. So, and then they could go for each other. They could go at each other for it. LeBron can ask Rondo. Rondo can ask LeBron. You feel me? This shit is so fire. I love that LeBron and Rondo are playing together. And I wish they would have done it earlier in their career, but it's like maybe it wouldn't have worked as good as it's working now, or as good as it worked in the last year or the year before, but in the bubble. You feel me? And I also like the fact that Rondo has played with Anthony Davis before, so they have history. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. I'm really excited for this shit. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait. I cannot wait. This is less than a month until NBA season starts. Oh man, I hope you guys enjoy this shit, yo. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Scary Hour. I hope that you continue listening. And subscribe, guys. Let me know your thoughts on any of these topics. If there's any other topics, hit me up through DMs on Instagram at Adrian's World, or comment it down below. You feel me? In the comment section. If you really enjoyed any part of this episode, like or share it with your friends, whatever. Support us in any way, shape, or form. I don't really care. I even if you're just viewing it and you don't do anything about it, I don't care. I enjoy all of that. I hope your last week was very wonderful. I hope this weekend is even better. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Love you.